Hey everybody, Adam here with Hometown Acres. Welcome back. Today we are going to be building a solar firewood kiln for drying firewood faster for less than 500 bucks with everything that you see here in these boxes. So I recently paid a good buddy of mine, Matt from Firewood Guy, to kiln dry about 2.5 cords of wood for me. And I said in that video that sometimes it's better to rent or lease kiln space than it is to actually go out and purchase a kiln, because they're, upwards of $100,000. And, if you're not making 1,000 or 2,000 cords of wood a year, it doesn't make sense to have a piece of equipment that expensive to not be running at full capacity. I think that statement still holds true. The reason that I want to build a kiln here is because Matt is so far away from me. He's about 45 minutes away, and the trucking just doesn't make it economical to get it back and forth. Drive it 45 minutes up, drop it off, come back home, and then 2 days later when the wood is done, drive up there another 45 minutes to go pick it up and bring it back home. So I need something here on the property. If Matt was closer, that would be an excellent solution for us for drying firewood, but the distance just makes it not worthwhile. And I've really been going down the rabbit hole on solar firewood kilns lately on YouTube. There's a couple other channels out there that have built something or done something similar to what we're about to do. And what I have found is it seems like everybody out there that has done one is disappointed with the results. They think they might be able to dry wood in a week or two, and what they find out is that it ends up taking 4 to 6 weeks. And if you're not able to build a kiln big enough to get 3, 4, 5 cords in, if your kiln only holds 2 cords and it takes you 6 weeks, you're really kind of maxing out at like 20 or 25 cords a year that you can dry. And that's given optimal drying conditions in the summertime. It's probably going to be even slower than that in the wintertime. So I don't think that I'm going to be able to do anything special that's going to give me better results. I know going into this that I'm probably going to be disappointed with the results, but I like to tinker. I like to try things out for myself and just see what happens, right? I kind of want to play with the temperature and the humidity, and I got a little humidistat and a thermometer that we're going to keep in there and be able to graph out the temperatures throughout the day and see what we get on a hot day, what we get on a cloudy day, what we get in the middle of winter. And so I'm just doing this more as an experiment. Because it's an experiment and I know going into it I'm probably going to be disappointed with a solar kiln, I wanted to do this for as cheap as possible. So like I said, everything that we have here is $500 or less. And so, the other guys that have built kilns on YouTube have spent significantly more than that, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 on all their materials. I just want a proof of concept. And the nice thing about this is if it does work, it's going to be scalable. It's going to take less than a day to build this. And with such little input costs, if it does work and it does dry wood fast, you'll be able to build another one, 2, 3, 4. And now you could actually ramp up your drying. And let's say you can get 2 cords of wood in this kiln that I'm going to build, and you have 6 of them. You can make 2 cords one day, load the kiln, the next day do another one, and then kind of stagger them. So by the time you get to the last kiln, the stuff that was in the first kiln is going to be ready to rock and roll. So if this works and you had enough kilns, you actually could be putting wood in all the time and pulling wood out all the time and always have wood ready to go on demand. So that's what we're going to try to find out here. Let me show you what we got going on. All right, so we got Elliot from Everything Elliot here. He just showed up to bring back my power rake for the mini skid.
I appreciate you letting me borrow that. That's very nice of you.
Well, now I'm going to put you to work to pay for it. So the plan here is what this greenhouse is going to be is we have a 10 by 20 basically greenhouse or a hoop house from Vevor, and we're just going to park it right here on this hill. Now I'm not going to try to level this pad out, because if you look at how a solar panel is oriented, they're on a slant. And I think I'm going to have this, if you see the corners I've got marked out with the pieces of firewood here, I think having it on this slope is going to be good for 2 reasons. One, it's going to be facing the sun, kind of like a solar panel. And as I load this with the baskets, I'll actually be, with the mini skid, coming uphill, which is going to make the machine a lot less tippy. So we got the excavator here with Elliot, and Elliot, you've got a Chinese tilt bucket, right?
I sure do.
I'm going to let him peel the topsoil here with a real tilt bucket. This is the Mongo Attachments tilt bucket. I think you're going to find that it's a little bit more refined.
Well, I mean, I tore mine apart and built half of it, so we'll see though. We'll see.
I think the hydraulics in this tilt bucket are super smooth. Have you tried it yet?
No.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get in here and get this dug out, topsoil out of here, graded out, and then we're gonna throw some stone down, and then we'll get to building the hoop house, and I'll show you what else we're gonna do to try to make this thing dry wood faster. How does the old Hyundai compare to your John Deere 50?
Well, it's about 20 years newer. It's feels much more touchy.
In a good way or bad way?
I'm just not used to running it, so you know.
Yeah.
Not a bad thing. Just you know, I'm used to my machine, so.
Right. I think you need to go, because you're digging on a radius, you've got to get this, which you'll get as you back up or whatever, but you got to come, like that corner is good there, but you're digging back towards the machine and you got to run in a straight line.
Yeah, do you have,
to here.
Does this have bucket swivel on it?
What's that?
Oh yeah, it does. How do you swivel your bucket?
I think it's this, yeah. It's hard when I'm not in the machine.
Yeah. That's as far as it goes, huh? That's a little better. I'm gonna have to move the wrong way. We're gonna have to move the trailer when I move back, but we're in good shape there. This is gonna be really bad for the camera angle that's sitting on the machine.
What's that?
I said this is gonna be really bad for the camera angle that's sitting on the machine.
Oh yeah. A little harder to steer than it was when it was empty. There we go.
All right, we're gonna get the power rake going on the Baumolite, and I'll be the first to admit I called this thing a Harley rake throughout my, I don't know, every video I made with it, and it is certainly not a Harley rake. It is a power rake made by WIFO, not made by Harley.
Now this is probably an unnecessary step because we are going to be filling it with gravel, so the gravel will ultimately smooth out and fill the voids, but the smoother we get this, the less gravel we have to use.
So what he's going to do is he's going to grab the LS tractor with the land plane on the back of it, and he's just going to do a couple pulls with the land plane, and that should do the trick. I've never actually seen one of these land planes in action, so I'm kind of excited to see how that thing works.
Well, it's funny you say that because I was actually looking at it and I was thinking, well, maybe I'll just back drag it with the bucket on the tractor, but since you've never seen the land plane, I guess we will hook it up.
I mean, I've seen one, I've just never seen it used in person.
Yeah, well, you will today.
You got a quick hitch on that thing?
I do, but I don't have it on.
Ugh.
My finish mower is not quick hitch compatible, so that's the annoying thing about a quick hitch is if you have any attachments that aren't quick hitch compatible, like my finish mower, every time you go to swap back and forth, you got to take the quick hitch off. So I've been thinking about switching to the Pat's Easy Change because I think that would eliminate that problem.
Funny you mentioned that. That's actually what I have on my tractor.
Do you?
Love it.
Like it?
Love it.
Yeah, I think I might be making the switch. If you have all quick hitch compatible attachments, the quick hitch is awesome. The second you get one that you use regularly that isn't, might as well throw it out.
So for those that don't know, the Pat's quick hitch is basically just your bottom two connection points hook in on a like spring assisted hook, and then your top connection you do manually yourself. With a quick hitch, all 3 points are fixed on the tractor, so essentially your implement needs to be the same geometry on every piece of implement, where the Pat, since only the bottom two connect, you could take that top link and just put it wherever it needs to be.
Yeah. All right, so the first box of 4 to bring this solar greenhouse to life is going to be the hoop house, the greenhouse itself. We're gonna go ahead and I'm not gonna bore you guys with an assembly video. If you buy one of these and you wanna see how to put it together, there are other videos out there on YouTube. I'm gonna get it unboxed. We'll time lapse assembling it. and then we'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. I will show you just real quick what it looks like when it gets delivered, just so you can see all the parts and pieces that are a part of this. All right, so it looks like everything that's in here is fabric, or the actual greenhouse part, and then all of your pipes. I'm assuming there's hardware. Yep, right there to put everything together. Everything's labeled, parts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so we'll throw you guys on a time lapse and show you what it looks like when it's all put together. Okay, what's in box number 1 for this kiln? It is a ventilated fan that I believe has a humidistat and a thermostat on it. There you go, Elliot, thank you. So an exhaust fan so that you can program this to kick on once a certain humidity level is reached within the kiln. So obviously you don't want this thing running all the time, because then you would lose all your heat in the kiln. But if this kicks on once it gets to, and this is where I need to do some experimentation with, is to find what is that humidity level that it needs vented. I don't know if it's 50%, 60, 70%, whatever, but I want this to be automatic so I don't have to come down here and vent the kiln manually. This should just kick on, and it's got louvers on the backside, so it will, when it's not running, trap the heat in. When it kicks on, it's gonna kick all that hot, moist air out, draw in fresh, dry air, and then let it cycle up and heat up again. So we need to figure out how we're gonna mount this inside the kiln. One thing I did want to show you guys is the temperature inside the kiln. Now today it was about 70 degrees was the high. It's been mostly sunny, a little bit of clouds here and there, but I bought a thermometer and a humidity sensor to put inside the kiln. And just with it being built in the last, let's see, it's been up for probably 3 hours now. The temperature inside the kiln right now is 113 degrees, 44% humid. And if I click on the chart here, we've actually been up to about 124 degrees. I was kind of figuring we might average between 15 to 20 degrees warmer than the ambient temperature outside, and we are already crushing that. So I can only imagine if we get those 90, 95 degree days, we might see 140 inside this kiln. Anyway, enough talking. Let's go ahead and get this loaded up, and then we will show you what is in the final 2 boxes from Beaver. Okay, so boxes 3 and 4 are exactly the same, and this is to provide some airflow inside the kiln. We have the exhaust fan that is going to vent the kiln. However, I think one big advantage we're going to have with our solar kiln is I want to kill the wood with wind. And so we have these big warehouse fans that are going to move quite a bit of volume of air. I think the CFM on these is somewhere over 8,000 CFM or something like that. So we've got a little assembly to do on these 2 fans, and then we're going to get them in. And my thought is I'm going to do 2 baskets, and then one of these big warehouse fans, and then 2 more baskets, and then another big warehouse fan. In talking with Matt, he said, you know, a lot of people think it's temperature, a lot of people think it's sun, a lot of people think it's different things, but in his experience, he has taken firewood up and parked it next to Lake Erie, which, if you're not familiar, is one of the Great Lakes. It's borderline an ocean. I mean, you can't see one side of the lake to the other. That's how big they are. And so they get almost an ocean-like breeze coming off of the lake. And he said when he had firewood drying up near the lake, he said the just constant wind coming, he said he was able to dry firewood so fast up near the lake. So I'm kind of stealing that idea and going to try to replicate it, except with heat inside a greenhouse, and just kill the wood with wind here. Okay, so this is what these things look like fully assembled. They have a little leg stand on them with wheels. Obviously, we're outdoors on gravel. We're not going to be using the wheels, but they do pivot around, and they're a good size. They're nice and slim and slender, so perfect for what I want to do in here, which is just to park it right here, have it face up at the wood. So I'll have these two baskets here, this fan, another two baskets, another fan, and then two more baskets. So I should be able to fit 2 full cords in here with plenty of airflow and the exhaust fan. I think this might just work. I might be surprised by the results we get with this. All for 500 bucks. All right, so we got all of the wood and the fans in there and everything plugged up. I've got just extension cords hanging right now. I don't know if you can tell or not, but the fans are up and running, even the exhaust fan. I got some tidying up to do with some extension cords, and right now everything is just plugged into direct power. I don't have the humidistat or the thermostat or any timers or anything, but my plan is I'm gonna put the fans on a timer and run them from, let's say, 9 or 10 in the morning until 6 at night. Basically gonna be a dusk to dawn type deal with the fans. And then the humidistat for the exhaust fan, like I said, I gotta figure out what humidity level do I want to tell that to vent all of the humid air out of here and bring fresh air in. All right, so it is the next day. It's about 60 degrees out today, and it has been mostly cloudy today with a little bit of sun here and there. I thought I'd give you guys a quick update now that I got a few more things buttoned up. Temperature inside the kiln is about 105 degrees, so a lot less than we were getting yesterday, but again, a lot more cloud cover today. And wanted to show you guys how I've got this set up to run on solar. So this is gonna virtually cost me nothing to run. You can see the sun's coming out now, but I've got 2 portable solar panels here. I've got some extension cords running into the back corner of the kiln here. These are not running the fans directly. I actually have the solar panels running inside the building and running a backup battery system. And so if we look at this with decent sunlight out right now, we are bringing in about 562 watts, and we're using 300. So right now we are actually recharging the system when the sun is out. Those solar panels are 350 watts each. So under ideal conditions, we'd be getting around 700 watts if it was, midday and the sun was out with no clouds. But right now it's saying that we're at 58%. And since we're bringing in more solar than what we're using, under current conditions, it would take 1.2 days to recharge. So we're actually adding to the battery instead of drawing from it. But an added benefit to having this out here running the fans for the solar kiln is I can also use it to power the lights in here as well. And again, as long as we're getting more sun than what we're using to run the fans, we should always have plenty of power down here. But yeah, like I said, this thing should virtually cost me nothing to run. Now, as an accountant, I understand that people are going to say, well, you've got money in solar panels, you've got money in the batteries and the inverter and all that stuff. Yes, I agree. But as far as paying a utility bill to run this, it's going to cost nothing. One thing I do want to do is I do want to get rid of these temporary solar panels and get some fixed mount rigid panels like what I have down there. But I did want to take you and show you the inside of the kiln real quick, just because we've already gotten a ton of condensation on the inside of the kiln here. So if you look at the inside again, it's 105 degrees in here, so it's not comfortable to be in here. But if you look, there's just a ton of condensation on the inside of the kiln. And so it might be time to turn the exhaust vent on and vent some of this hot, humid air out of here. But yeah, I think it's gonna work. I think we're gonna be, well, I know it's gonna dry wood faster than just leaving it out here in the baskets like we've been doing. The question is, how fast is it going to work? Anyways, guys, that is my take on a solar kiln, all for less than 500 bucks. The hoop house here, I think, was like 140, 150 bucks. Each of the fans was 105, 120 bucks, something like that. And then the exhaust fan was 100 bucks. So less than $500, and we can dry at least 2 cords. I think I could probably fit another 2 baskets in here if I kind of sandwiched everything up just a little bit more. I think I definitely want to add one more fan in here as well. But yeah, I will, if you're at all interested in drying firewood like this, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We'll bring you guys along for more updates as we see how this thing performs. I did pick a terrible time of year to try this because we just got done with all the 90-degree heat, and like I said, today it's 60 degrees out. So, but we're still maintaining 105 in here right now. So hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I almost forgot. How can we give a real test if we don't know what our starting point is? Fresh split, and we are reading over 39%. This thing only goes up to 40%, so 39% on the inside. So we'll see how long it takes to get us down under 20%.